In today's session, we will start explore
Recording in progress.
the types of relationships, dealing with how to deal with the many-to-many relationship. In real life scenario, many-to-many relationship is very much common. First of all, we will see what exactly many-to-many relationship and how we can deal with the many-to-many relationship. And also after after I cover the cardinality part, right? So I'll explain you all this one also. The next one is we will see what is active and inactive relationship, and what is cross filter direction, and what is automatic tables, date tables, and what are the approaches or the alternatives that you can use it to create date tables manually. One second, let me just. First of all, what is a relationship? That's what we discussed in the last session. Relationship is nothing but filtering the data when it comes to Power BI, right? So we use relationship to filter the data. And even in the case of RDBMS, as part of SQL training, we discussed about the primary key and foreign key. We create the primary key to uniquely identify an instance or a record in a table. So in this table, employee ID is the unique primary key. In the department table, department number is the primary key. In the employee table, also we are using department number. In the case of employee table, the department number column is a foreign key column. So this is because the values for this department number is coming outside, coming from the other table. Hence this is foreign key. If I wanted to select employee, if I want to show or display employee name, the department name and salary, in order to display these three columns, I need to join these two tables because the department name is available in this table. So how do I join these two tables? So I need to check in the both the tables if the department number column is available or not. Yes, in both the table we have the department number column is available. Maybe here they would have mentioned the different name for the department number, probably department ID, but here they would have mentioned depart number, NO. Okay, that doesn't mean these two columns are different, only the name of the column is different, but the business meaning is same, right? So department number, department ID, both of them are same only, but in this table they mentioned department ID. But so now fortunately both the tables column for the department number, right, it is same. So department number. So using the primary key and foreign key relationship, we can join these two tables to get the department name from this table. You understood? So in order to create the relationship, so you need to create the relationship to get the data from more than one table. So in this case we are dealing with only two tables. Let's say if you have another table, right? So even for that table, if you want to, let's say you have a project table is there. So if you wanted to to find out the project name for the employees, which project the currently the employee is working on it, right? So you need to have the project number here, project number and the corresponding project number from the project table. You need to join it. Only then you can filter the data correctly. So as part of data modeling, the relationship is very much important. Okay, we need to make sure that we are creating the or linking the correct columns between the tables. In Power BI, we will be linking the likewise, right, the line. So we link these two tables using department number. Supposing we have project number, we need to link this table with the project table's project number column. You need to make sure that you are linking the correct column between the tables in order to do the proper filtering or correct filtering. Okay, only then it can filter the relevant or appropriate data from the other tables, because in real life scenario we are using more than two tables. So in that case we have to get the data from multiple tables In order to get that, we need to make sure that you are linking the tables with the correct columns. Hope it is very clear. Next, what are the types of relationships that are available when it comes to RDBMS or relation database, or even in the case of data modeling? These are the types of relationships that are available: one to one, one to many, many to one, many to many relationship. What is one to one? Can someone give me an example? One to one, the classic example is this is one person or a citizen, and you are an Indian citizen, right? So each citizen should have only one Aadhaar number. In the case of USA, each citizen should have only one social security number. There should not be any duplicates. A single person cannot have more than one social security number, or in USA. The same is applicable in India also. And similarly, a single person cannot have more than one salary account. You are working for a company. Let's assume that a person is in India. You are working for only one company. You cannot work for more than one company. Okay, so that is one to one. But nowadays, a person can work for more than one company also. The classic example is this is the one. If you think, or if you have any other example, why don't you tell me? Right. So, for example, let's say each employee has their own office. One employee can have only one office because he is working for only one company. Morning, let's say morning 9 to evening 8 p.m. He works for only one company, and each office is only occupied by. You just think that way, right? So let's say in your company you have a separate office for you, right? So you have a separate office for you inside your office. Each employee can have, or let's say each manager, project managers are given separate cubicle in an office. Each project manager, so individual cubicle. Each cubicle is only occupied by one employee. This is another example for one-to-one relationship. But in real life scenario, one-to-one relationship, you don't see it in many of the cases. Okay, most of the time you find one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationship, or many-to-many relationship. Next, we will see what is one-to-many relationship. An employee, single employee, can work on more than one project. Let's say you are working for a software company. So you are supposed to work on two different projects. 50% you are billed in one project, in another project you are billed for 50%. Okay, a single employee can work more than one project. That is what called as many-to-one relationship. Sorry, one-to-many relationship. Okay. And another example is, let's say you are a car manufacturer. As a manufacturer, you can produce more than one car. A single manufacturer can produce more than one car. Also, let's say you are a customer. A customer, you order more than one item. A single customer, let's say you are Vijay Kant is ordering more than one products. He is ordering more than one product in an e-commerce site. And let's say you are a manufacturer. Okay, you are producing more than one items or products. These are the examples for one-to-many relationship. So here one is only one person, one employee can work on many projects. A single manufacturer can produce many cars. Hence we call this a one-to-many relationship. Next one is many-to-many, many-to-one relationship. That is an opposite of this one. Many-to-one relationship. In this case, many employees can work on single project. Let's say we have something like a supply chain analytics project. In that project, many employees are working on it. Many employee in the sense, right, more than one employee. Not necessarily 100 employees. So more than one employee, we call this a many. Many employees can work on a single project. Many items ordered in a single order. Okay, so these are the example for many-to-one relationship. The next one is many-to-many relationship. Many-to-many relationship occurs when multiple records in a table or related with multiple records in another table. An employee can work on, many employees can work on a single project. Similarly, in multiple project, more than one employees are working. You understood? So here, the many side will be there in the many side is there on the right side. In this case, the many table is located on the left side, but in this case, in both side we have many tables. Single employee can work on more than one project. Each project can have more than one employee. Okay, so this is a many-to-many relationship. See, in real life scenario, we cannot add a many-to-many relationship to a database. We cannot add a many-to-many relationship to a database because it breaks the normalization rules. Rules. So to address this, we create something called joining table. Okay, in the interview they'll ask you why you need to have a joining table. It is also called as a bridge table. Okay, I just write it here. It is also called as a bridge table. Bridge table or joining table. In the last session, we discussed about factless fact table. In the case of star schema, we call this as a factless fact table. Factless fact table. So why it is called factless fact table? First of all, what is a fact? Fact is nothing but the numeric value. In the fact table, we have the combination of all the dimension tables, key columns. Along with that, we store the measures like number of units sold, numeric values, and total sales, gross sales, net margin, COGS, cost of goods sold. These are numeric values. Facts are nothing but the numeric values. In the fact table, we store the numeric values along with the dimension key columns. But when it comes to the factless fact table, as the name says, you don't store the fact, numeric values. Instead, you store something like this, bridge table. Because if you want to, fact table itself a transaction table, many table, right? If you have two fact table, assume that this is a fact table, this is a fact table. These two fact tables are many table. In that case, you need to use a bridge table. The bridge table or joining table, when it comes to star schema, we call it a factless fact table. Now the question is, why should I use the bridge table? We use this bridge table or the joining table to capture every instance of employee and project. Okay, see here you have employee table, but here you have the details of all the projects. In this table, the project ID column is the primary key, whereas in this table the employee ID is the primary key. Okay, supposing you have the primary key as 10 for John, and you have another primary key value as this is Robert. You have another guy, Mike. For each employee, you have to store only one record. For each employee, you have to store only one record. Similarly, for each project, you need to store only one record in this table. For example, I say SCA, Supply Chain Analytics Project. The name of the project is Supply Chain Analytics. And similarly, you have Retail Analytics, and here you have the project name. And similarly, Omni-channel Retail Analytics. These three projects are there. For each project, you need to use the unique value because this is the primary key column. The project, this is primary project ID, this column is your project ID, and this column is your project name. Got it? This column is your project ID, this is your project name, and this is the employee ID, this is the employee name. If I ask you, or let's say if your manager is asking you, can I know how many number of projects John is working currently? Can you give me a list of the total number of projects worked by each and every employee? Each employee can work on more than one project, and each project can have more than one employee. So in that case, how will you get the information? So the only option is in this table, right? This is your employee ID table, employee table. This is your employee ID, okay, employee ID. This is employee name. Only way out is, like I showed you in the employee department table, you can store the project ID here, right? You can store the project ID like department number. You remember in the employee table, we stored the department number. So here you can store the project ID in order to extract the project name from this table. But here the employee John is working on more than one project. Let's say he is working on SCA, supply chain analytics, and also he is working on omni-channel retail analytics project. But here this guy Robert is working on SCA, supply chain analytics, and retail analytics project also. If you look at the startup company, the employees will be working on more than one project because they cannot afford recruiting more employees. Similarly, Mike is also working on retail analytics and supply chain analytics, something like that. Okay, but in this table, the primary key column is project ID. Okay, in order to create the relationship between these two tables, you created a column called project ID. But in this case, each employees are working on more than one project. But you cannot specify more than one value in the project ID column. If you specify like this, how can you join these two tables? Because whatever value you have it, that value only should be available here. Here I have SCA, but here you have different values are there. More than one value is there. In that case, we cannot say these two columns are common columns. Though the column names are same between the two tables, the values are not same. The value should also be same between these two tables for this column. It is not same. And also, as per the normalization rule, we have something called normalization rule. RDBMS, in RDBMS we have something called normalization rule. As per the normalization rule, as per the normalization or the first normal form rule, each column should have atomic value. Atomic value in the sense you should have only single value. You cannot have something like this. Okay, you can have space, John, Mariam, Joseph, something like that. But you cannot have John, comma, Joseph, comma, something like that. Okay, you cannot have more than one value. This is against the normalization rule. Okay, so hence what we do is to address this issue. What is the other alternative in order to deal with this? You cannot have more than one value, but here you have SCA. Either we can have only one project ID here, but John is working on more than one project. So the other alternative is you can create another column here to hold for another project, but that is also not the right solution. Or else what you can do is you can add one more record for John. So 10 John SCM, because as per the first normalization rule, first normalization form rule, you cannot have more than one value. Hence what you do is 10 John SCA project. In the next row 10 John another project, the omni-channel retail analytics project. But if you add one more row for John, so it is violating the primary key rule. How do we store this many-to-many relationship related data? That is where the bridge table is playing a crucial role. So here what I do is I store employee ID and project ID together. So here I just say emp ID and project ID. together. So here, for example, John is working on SCA, and the same employee John is working on omni-channel retail analytics project, and the employee Robert, right? So he is also working on SCA, something like that. Okay, here you can have duplicate because this is the foreign key, and even this in the bridge table. So I call this as a employee project, EMP project table project. It is something like combining these two tables. Okay, the combining these two tables primary key values, but in this table employee ID and project ID are primary key, but when it comes to the bridge table employee project, this is the values whatever you store it in employee ID in this table, this column is foreign key to this table, and the project ID in this table is foreign key to this table. Got it? So now if anybody is asking you, okay, so now there exists a one-to-many relationship between these two tables. So here you have only one record for each employee. For John you have one. See, forget to remove this one. Okay, this is not going to work out. This is not the right approach, hence I am going to strike it out. So now you have only two columns. So John, I put it John here. So John is working in SCA. In the next row I put 10 here. Again, foreign key column can have more than one value, right? Duplicate values. Okay, and here the another project, second project which is working on it, right? That's what I mentioned it here. And similarly, Robert is working on SCA, and again the Robert is working on another retail analytics project. Fine. So this is called your bridge table. With this, see here you have two one-to-many. You have one-to-many, and here also one-to-many relationship. With two one-to-many tables, you can store many-to-many relationship related data. In the interview, they will ask you first of all what is many-to-many relationship. That means multiple records in a table are related with multiple records in another table. In real life scenario, most of the time we come up with these kind of scenarios. Okay, these kind of we will land up with these kind of situations. In that kind of situations, we store the data in bridge table. The bridge table will hold the left side table. On the left side tables primary key, the employee tables primary key. Here in this case the employee ID is a foreign key, and in this case, right, the project ID is the foreign key to this table. This is how we address the many-to-many relationship. Hope it is clear, right? You have any questions? Okay, since you don't have any questions, what I do is I just one second.